My name's Chris May. I'm a 32-year-old firefighter for Fire Rescue Victoria. I grew up in Melbourne's southeast suburbs and I currently live in Emerald, Victoria. The reason I climbed 8,488 metres in elevation, or 2,575 floors, the equivalent height of Mount Everest, was because it was a mental challenge, a physical and mental challenge, one that you have to really dig deep to finish. The entire climb took me 17 hours and 33 minutes. I began at roughly 9 in the morning and I finished at 2:30 a.m. the next day. At a roughly 35,000 steps completed, I hit a mental barrier, which is very akin to what it's like when you have a mental health injury. It takes a lot to be able to complete something, but just like mental health, you've got to really dig deep to make sure you can try and get through to the finish line. And the beneficiaries of the Melbourne Firefighter stair climbs all support everyday Australians and emergency services personnel through their mental health journeys. I remember as a young kid when I was getting up in the morning to watch morning cartoons, and the September 11 was live on television, and that was a day that stuck with me forever. The years following September 11 saw the global war on terror kind of kick off, and as a young kid growing up, I always had a passion for the Army and the Air Force, and initially I wanted to join the Air Force. However, I didn't have good enough grades in high school to get through into becoming a pilot. In 2007, I enlisted into the Australian Army as an armoured crewman to essentially just do my part. I never thought that I was going to go overseas or go to war, but I knew that it was a very real eventuality if the time came. In 2009, at the age of 19, I deployed to Afghanistan on my first tour, which was an eye-opening experience for what it's like to be on the other side of the world. That was my first overseas trip, really, was into a war zone. In 2011, I redeployed to Afghanistan. This time I was a junior leader within my section. In September of 2011, on the 23rd, the vehicle that I was commanding was hit by a roadside bomb. This began my mental health journey and my repatriation back to Australia as a wounded soldier. After coming back home to Australia, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress as well as depression and anxiety, which kind of shaped the following years of my life. It wasn't until roughly 2013 that I climbed over the edge of a balcony and thought about jumping off the balcony to end my own life, which was a life-changing moment. And in that moment, the only thing I could think about was my friends and family that I'd leave behind. And I climbed back over that balcony and went to bed, and I got up in the morning, and the first thing I did when I went to work was I went and saw a doctor to get better. After seeing the doctor for the first time, I went through a few different treatments and methodologies for treatments, and recognised a few of the things that I needed to address. And it was a challenging experience, and I always say to people that the first step is the hardest. You have to make that first step, you have to really give it a crack. The first step is always the one that is the hardest to take, because it's a very daunting moment in your life, because you're making yourself extremely vulnerable to your friends, family, your colleagues about your mental health, and people kind of see you differently. For me, the hardest part was really being vulnerable with myself and starting to get the assistance that I needed. And I'm just fortunate that I had a very good bunch of close mates and my family there to support me through everything. And it was without the health practitioners that helped me through it, I would never have been able to get where I am today. And I'm extremely grateful to all those people that have helped me as well. It's been an amazing ride. After I became better, for lack of a better term, after I started to return to normal life, I found a passion in helping others. In 2014, I started my ideas and conceptualisation of starting a charity called Young Veterans, which is a veteran organisation for for all of our Defence Force veterans that can kind of assist them in their reintegration back into civilian society and social activities, which since then has gone Australia-wide. We didn't do that for any glory or fame, but it was just to help out each other. And through Young Veterans, we were able to raise substantial amounts of money to run veteran programs for them and their families to build happier, healthier lives. And it's absolutely astounding to see that it's gone Australia-wide. In 2015, I conducted a trip to Cape York, from the southernmost point of the Australian mainland to the very northernmost point in Cape York, in 2 ex-Army Land Rovers with Shane Dixon. And that journey was symbolic of my service life and what it's like to be a veteran. When you come home, everyone thinks you're broken, but we're not. And just like the vehicles we drove, the old Army Land Rovers, we drove all the way to Cape York. And we had a few hiccups along the way, but that was okay. In 2017, after a few years of doing a lot with the veteran community and raising money for various mental health charities, my brother and I were nominated for Victorian Australian of the Year finalists, where we went to Government House and received our Australian of the Year awards off the Governor of Victoria. And that was an extremely humbling experience as well, meeting some very amazing people that have done some amazing things and being held up in the same stead as those people. The same year, I was nominated and selected by the Commonwealth Games baton relay to carry the Queen's baton through Frankston on behalf of the veteran community. And that, again, was such an amazing experience, being able to do that. I left the regular army in 2017 and became a reservist and tried to find a new passion in life. So after being wounded and having my mental health challenges and coming through the other side, I decided to try and transition to civilian life. And that was another step towards getting better. That's where I fell in love with my passion for firefighting. I originally started as a CFA volunteer as I didn't know how to get involved in it, and I was extremely grateful for the opportunities I was given there as a CFA volunteer. And I then got a job working for Parks Victoria as part of forest fire management, and I became a forest firefighter, which again, such an amazing experience. And I was able to go to some campaign fires in the state of Victoria with some of the most amazing people who have got their own stories to tell, but the experience that they gave me and the experiences of being involved as first response for bushfire was incredible. And it just really built upon my passion for firefighting, which led me to my decision to put in to become a firefighter for Fire Rescue Victoria. And in December of 2019, I graduated from the Victorian Emergency Management Training Centre in Craigieburn as a firefighter in the Metropolitan Fire Brigade. And since then, I've been serving the community and the people of Australia in a different manner, responding to emergency events across the metropolitan Melbourne region. So how can you help? As part of the Melbourne Firefighter Stair Climb, we're raising vital funds for the 000 Foundation, Lifeline and Fortum Australia, who assist everyday Australians and our emergency services personnel in their mental health journeys. The best way to donate is to go to www.firefighterclimb.org.au/Chris May. Otherwise, share this far and wide, get the information out there. You can also visit me on social medias, Chris May Oz on Instagram or Chris May on Facebook, and follow the links to donate. All donations are tax deductible and you will receive a receipt from the 000 Foundation.